Alright, on today's episode, we are going to discuss what the channel's about. So please stay tuned as we dive into the ninth realm of nerd. Okay, my name's David. This is Rex.
Hi, how's it going?
We're going to talk about what our YouTube channel is going to be about. For the most part, it's going to be about anything nerd. We'll cover different topics, stuff that we are both into. So let's kind of go into what some of the things we're into. Like, what are some of the things that really get you going when it comes to just being a nerd?
I guess mostly anything Marvel related, of course, like the movies and such. A bit of the comics, but not as much as some others. And of course, some figure stuff and games.
It's interesting that you mentioned Marvel because we were actually just talking about Morbius, and you were telling me that
Well, that's per one article. It just didn't do swell. But.
So, I'm into Marvel too. I love, obviously, I love Marvel. I'm not really a big DC guy. There are some DC characters that I do enjoy. I collect comics and pop figures. You collect
different NECA series. I've got some Ninja Turtle stuff. Everything from like the comic style to the animated to the movie. And then Masterpiece Transformers, both official and third party. So.
Well, one of the things I've seen your Transformer collection, and it's really nice, and there's some nice pieces in there. I think both of us have a pretty good taste, and just like we know what we like, and that's what we collect. With me, I've been collecting pops for a couple years now, and I've amassed a huge collection.
You keep most of them boxed, though, don't you?
Yes, I keep them boxed. Some people pull them out. I have been thinking about pulling out the Star Wars Bounty Hunter set because it's really nice. It's got IG-88.
How many are in that set?
7. So there's 7 in that set. So
you could make like a really cool like Dio or like a setup.
It actually connects together and makes a massive display piece.
So they have bases they're on?
Yes.
So they're not the typical...
No, they're not the typical pop, but they do have bases and they connect together. And I really enjoy them. I've really come close to pulling them out of the box just to have them on display.
Go back in the box.
I know. It's hard to get away from that, man.
I mean, I keep my boxes, but like everything I have is open.
Well, yeah, but it's like just hard. It's hard to get away from that. It really is. And if you're a collector, if any of you out there are collectors, you'll know. Matter of fact, if anybody collects, please comment in the comments like what do you guys like to collect. Some of the other things that we'll cover is, did you know, I didn't know this until recently, did you know that you can send your pops off to get graded?
Yeah, they started that, gosh, it's been years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew that you can send your comic books off. I knew that you can send ball cards off.
Yeah.
But I did not know that you could send...
You can get carded action figures graded too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Video games.
Yeah.
You can get them graded. How amazing is
that? Put in
that?
a plastic case that can't be touched. Go for it.
That's actually true, and we will cover some of those. We will actually cover some of those grading services, like CGC. I sent off comics recently, so I'm excited to unveil those on the show. That will be a later episode. What else? What when you think nerd and ninth realm of nerd? What else?
It just covers like a huge facet of things, and like the culture has been growing the past few years. I mean, when we first started when we did conventions back in the day, like you saw the growth. Like we were in the middle of that growth era where it was like, here's the introduction to everything. Here's the introduction to the terminology for cosplay. and then it just transitioned over the years of expanding and just like exploding.
And I think you're right. I think when I think nerd, I think the biggest thing and this is what I tell people, you might not see yourself as a nerd, but most people nerd out on something, whether it's cars, trucks.
Well, at that point, I think like everybody's a subject matter expert at something they're interested in.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. Nerd could actually be a wide definition because it's, if you're interested in something and passionate about something, I think that makes you a nerd about that particular thing that you're into.
Yeah, it just doesn't always come with that like adjective.
Yeah, and that's true. It doesn't. But I think that term, used to, when you think about it, when we were younger, that term was a bad term. Now it's not so much.
Well, even nowadays, like I don't expect somebody to call somebody an NFL nerd. I mean,
No,
like
you're a
there's
sports
certain
fan.
connotations where that falls in, and that just happens to not be one.
You're typically a sports nut.
Then why don't they say like you're a comic nut? Or it automatically goes to what used to be,
That is true, because if you're into comics, automatically you're considered a nerd. But I mean, I love sports. That that's not been any secret in the years that we've known each other.
I know.
And
I don't know how to still hang around you.
Well, but I have a wide variety of interests, and I think we're going to try to cover a wide variety of interest on the channel, because I want to get content out there. Maybe someone's interested in comic books that has no idea to what the process is about getting them graded.
Yeah. When you went through that process, was there information out there, or
there's
like buried or readily accessible?
No, there's so much. It's like overload.
So you have to like cherry pick and like.
Yeah, it's like realistically, when you're starting to look into grading, it's overload. I mean, I couldn't believe like the amount of information. Used to, when you think about it, years ago, it was CGC, and CGC was it.
Yeah.
And then PGX come along, and then you got CBCS, and now there's a new company called ESG, which they've only been around since 2018. But
don't spoil all of your other episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying,
I don't mean to cut you off, but don't spoil it.
Yeah, I got you, but I'm just saying, there's so many companies now that it's. When I dug in, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know I had to ask my local comic book guy, and there's gonna be information that we're gonna pass along to the fans of the show that they're gonna be able to go and look for stuff. That's the hope, that they'll be able to gain some knowledge and information.
That makes sense.
So, but I mean, again, I think I'm excited about the channel. I really am. I know that I've kind of drug you along, but I think.
Well, that'd be more like lively had I not jacked my ankle up.
Well, that's true too.
So.
But I think ultimately, giving fans an idea of what just some different stuff out there. We were talking about your collection. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a Transformer. I enjoy Transformers. And when I was a kid, I had some of the figures, and I don't now, and some of them probably are worth money. And,
oh, yeah.
But, when I purchase gifts for you, I have no clue where to look. I do a lot of eBay and stuff like that, so I want to be able to give fans that knowledge. Where can they find stuff like that? But I think just overall, just giving information, sharing information, and maybe even just talking about movies and shows, because we both are into the Star Wars shows. I think, covering those without trying to spoil anything, because that's the one thing I hate. I hate going on YouTube and getting spoilers.
Dude, I just read all of them at my own pace before I watch anything. That way I spoil me on my time.
That's true. I know you do that, and that's wonderful. But you know, one of the things that I absolutely hate. I try to avoid spoilers.
Right.
You remember how hard it was to avoid spoilers when it came to Walking Dead?
Oh yeah, but
I mean,
that
it was
show, like,
awful.
That show burned out so quick though.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good show. I still want to finish it, but I don't watch it like I used to after
I don't think
Rick
anybody watches it like they used.
after Rick left the show. Come on, you know, Andrew Lincoln's one of those great actors. I mean, and you know, so after he left the show, I just quit watching it.
We've hit like 30 different things within the span of what, 10 minutes.
I know it's great, but that's diving into that ninth realm of nerd, man. That is digging into it. So with that said, I think it's a good way to end the video. Do us a favor, like, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you get the updates when our new videos post.
So that's what that does.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I never use it when I watch.
Well, you know, they say it helps get alerts, but then if you're like me and you subscribe to like 20 other YouTubers, you get like 20 alerts.
You're a
and
madman.
like
10 max.
Oh no, I've got so many. And there's some great ones out there. But like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get our updates. Most of our videos will drop every Friday. As always, we appreciate the fans and keep diving into that realm.
Have a good one.
Thanks.